Hi, everyone. I am so excited because we are here today with Evan Gow, and Evan has a really cool app. If you've ever heard of Instafreebie, which I talk about all the time, or BookFunnel, which I actually do not like, Evan has an even cooler tool, which is StoryOrigin app. So we're going to learn all about that and how to use it today. So hi everyone, I'm Lisa, best-selling co-author of the romance series Snow and Her Seven Seals, and on this channel I talk about writing advice, I talk about books, and I also talk about TV. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday. So welcome, Evan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't you let's just jump right in. So tell us a little bit more about StoryOrigin and how it compares to the other two tools.
Yeah, so StoryOrigin is pretty similar to Instafreebie and BookFunnel in terms of, what it's useful for. So it's a marketing tool just like those that's helpful for building your email list. Essentially, StoryOrigin allows you to upload a book and different assets for that book, a PDF, EPUB, and Mobi, and then provides a really simple landing page for readers to come sign up to your mailing list. And when they join your mailing list, they'll also get a download link for your book. So it's a good way to incentivize readers to join your mailing list.
Perfect. Cool. And so what authors are you trying to target, or are you not trying to target fiction or nonfiction?
Generally speaking, I think that marketing tools like these have gained more popularity in fiction, in genre. Both in romance and sci-fi or in fantasy are generally sort of the biggest categories. StoryOrigin doesn't have a particular focus though. So if you have a nonfiction book that you're trying to build an email list for, essentially StoryOrigin is just a great way to collect leads and to build your email list, whether it's fiction or nonfiction.
Cool. And so what ESPs does it integrate with? Because the whole point is list building. Is it a native integration, or do people need a Zap?
Yeah. So it's native integrations, and StoryOrigin is integrated with 5 different email service providers. So MailChimp and MailerLite are the 2 most popular, but then we also have Aweber, ActiveCampaign, and ConvertKit. So Instafreebie only offers MailerLite and MailChimp. So we have 3 other different integrations that authors can use.
Great. And then can they use Zap if they want to?
I have not looked into using Zapier to integrate with the different mailing lists. That's definitely something I could look into, but no author has actually, there aren't any authors on StoryOrigin that have asked for other integrations right now. So,
okay. Like Drip,
so we're basically, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten any requests for Drip or SendGrid.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, either way, you still offer more than Instafreebie, right? There's just 2 and that's it.
Yep.
All right. And then giveaways. So let's talk about giveaways. So how did those work on your platform?
Yeah, so group giveaways, they're very simple to both join and manage and create. So it's very simple for if you wanted to run a group giveaway. And for those who might not be familiar with the concept of a group giveaway, essentially what StoryOrigin does is it'll create a landing page that has book covers for a bunch of different authors, all generally in the same genres, and you sort of cross promote that landing page. And so you collect some of my email list, I collect some of your email list, depending on what books people download. And so the way to create a group giveaway is you essentially choose some tags that you want people that might interest people. So for example, it might be sci-fi, nautical, might be urban fantasy, and then people who might be interested in that group giveaway can see a list of all of the group giveaways on StoryOrigin, find the one with the tags that they want to join, and then and the application process is super simple. You just choose from one of the books that you already have on StoryOrigin, and then it will get automatically sent to the organizer. So you don't have to fumble around with emailing them and any of that. So, yeah.
So let's just go into just the technical end for just a second. So Are
sure.
people creating a new giveaway, a new book download within StoryOrigin so they can sort of track that giveaway campaign versus just their regular book giveaway?
So the way that StoryOrigin works is you just create one giveaway page, and then all of the traffic that might come from all the different group giveaways will all be directed to that same landing page. So right now, it doesn't track whether or not that person downloaded it came from, one group giveaway versus another, but authors get tracking links for each single group giveaway that they join. And so you can at least track, how many people went to a group giveaway from your tracking link for that giveaway.
Okay. And then how, I guess just so everybody understands that giveaways, you only get your own email addresses from people that downloaded your book. You wouldn't get the email addresses from everybody's book, right?
Correct. Yeah. The earlier mechanism that you described would not be GDPR compliant. So you only get the email addresses of the people that wanted to join your mailing list and download your book.
But giveaways are great because you actually, you StoryOrigin actually help to promote those books as well, right?
So StoryOrigin, there's no mailing list for StoryOrigin. All of the leads that go to a group giveaway come from other authors cross-promoting the group giveaway. So it's really more of a teamwork sort of thing between the authors that are part of that group giveaway. I've considered thinking about, adding a mailing list in the future, but no one's really asked for that yet. And so that's something I might do if enough authors ask me for, and if I sort of poll all of the users of StoryOrigin and they all sort of think that would be helpful, then that might be something that I do in the future.
Okay. All right. So I think I understand that. So the giveaway then is something the author could create, but it's not necessarily advertised on the platform. I would have to know my own authors to invite them, right?
Yeah. So you can create so you can create a group giveaway on StoryOrigin, and then that group giveaway is searchable by other authors on the platform. So you don't necessarily have to know every author that's going to join that group giveaway.
And they can apply to join, and then I can choose as the organizer whether to let them in or not.
Exactly right. And you get to choose on a book by book basis. So if an author applies with multiple books, you may say, oh, this one's a good fit for the group giveaway, but this one is not as good of a fit. And so you can sort of do that on a book by book basis.
Okay, great. And so then that brings us to our next question, which, as you said, is the sign-up process GDPR compliant, or should people be tracking that on their ESP provider?
So in terms of GDPR compliance, essentially what StoryOrigin does is when you create a book giveaway page, it will specifically say to any reader that comes to that page, hey, would you like to join my mailing list? And as a gift for joining my mailing list, you'll also receive a copy of my free book, XYZ, right? And so, and there's also a checkbox that the reader has to click in order to join your mailing list. And these are, so from a reader perspective, they're not necessarily coming to download your book. They're coming to join your mailing list. And as an incentive, they're also getting a download of your book. There's basically the reason it works that way is because that language is GDPR compliant, or at least that's what people are expecting will be accepted under these regulations, because you can't really say for sure exactly what language is going to be okay yet, because no rulings have actually been made on lead magnets and people using lead magnets. So it's still a little bit up in the air, but I think most of the marketing industry in general has all sort of coalesced around this language. And so this is pretty standard reaction to GDPR. Yeah,
I think it's basically the checkbox, right? As long as you have the checkbox,
right? Yes.
you have it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so that's across the board, right? Because I know that some like ConvertKit will only show the checkbox for EU IP addresses, but you're just doing everybody, right?
Yeah. So the way that it works is you'll be added to that author's email list, and then if you have a double opt-in set up on your ESP provider, then your ESP provider will send a follow-up email to whoever was added to your email list through the API. Basically, the way that I add that email to your email list through the backend. That reader will get an email if you have double opt-in with that ESP, and that email will ask them to confirm that they did in fact want to be on your mail list.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then, so the next one is, I know everyone's afraid of putting their book anywhere. What's the security on the back end to make sure there's no pirating?
As far as pirating goes, there's authorization set up in place so that no one can access your book unless they've signed up to join your mailing list, or unless they've basically received a download link. Now, if someone receives a download link and that email and the file gets sent to their email address, and then that person chooses to share that file on a pirating site, then there's not really much that anyone can do once someone has a file to prevent them from sharing that. But that being said, it's everything sort of up to the point of them actually receiving the files is all very secure.
Got it. Okay. And then, in general, what's the big vision for StoryOrigin?
Yeah. So, right now, StoryOrigin is essentially, just another is just another platform, right? We're basically competing with Instafreebie and BookFunnel, and long term, I don't want to solely offer the features that both BookFunnel and Instafreebie offer. If you've been a part of StoryOrigin for the past month or month and a half, you've been seeing how many features I've been adding just every week. And so I'm continually adding features, improving the system, and trying to add new things to differentiate. And so the long-term vision is essentially I want StoryOrigin to be the best marketing platform and book delivery service for authors. So the best way to build your email list. And so, there are lots of other things that authors use, a lot of other platforms. And I think that StoryOrigin, what I'll try to do with that is try to roll up sort of these features so it's an all-in-one solution for authors.
Cool. Do you think you're going to have, and this is probably just my personal preference, an e-reader so people could read right on the app on the phone?
That's definitely something that I'll think about. There is definitely sort of a gap between Instafreebie and BookFunnel in that they aren't really that focused on building a product that's great for the reader, right? They're really more focused on just the author. And I think a lot of authors would agree and say, I appreciate that you focus so much on me, but really I actually want you to build a great system for readers as well, because if the better the system for readers, then the more that will come to the platform and the more that will see my book. So I'm definitely looking and thinking about different ways to create more of a reader platform.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is, obviously, since I have your ear, that's like a definite need that I want, because I don't know if you remember, all romance books, or I can't remember what it was called, they went out of business and they had e-readers and authors could sell their books on their platform. And just for whatever reason, they went out of business. But I still think it was a good model and a great, like you said, romance readers, fiction genre, sci-fi could all come and then discover new books without having to always go to Amazon.
Right. And getting sort of the book delivery system down and getting the sort of email address collection and doing all that stuff, that's really the hard work of building sort of an e-reader platform, right? And then the next step is you would have to add sort of a monetization system, a way for authors to actually sell their books on the platform. But and that would be another huge step out. But in terms of actually having sort of the base mechanisms that you need in order to enable that platform, yeah, a lot of that stuff is there.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what's coming out next.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, I'm excited as well. If you're a part of StoryOrigin, you'll be getting emails, every so often, probably like once a week or once every couple weeks. When I add a new feature, you'll be the first to see it. Cool. So yeah.
Awesome. Now, so why don't we take a step back and tell us more about you, about Evan Gow, and what you write, and how you're also a developer. It's a great combination.
Yeah. So I got really interested in writing when I was in high school, and I used to write a bunch of short stories. And then I went to college and I sort of got busy, between internships and extracurricular activities and being a part of clubs. And so I sort of took a step back from writing, and ended up I majored in finance and economics, spent a year and a half working on Wall Street at an investment bank called Evercore, and then wanted to get back to Austin. My wife also went to UT. She graduated the year after me, and basically there was she ended up finding a job here in Austin, and so I wanted to get back to Austin, and so I worked at a private equity fund for 2.5 years. But during my senior year of college, I had gone through an entrepreneurship program. So that was back in 2012. And since 2012, I'd spent a lot of my free time learning to program, because it was something I was really passionate about. And that's a part of finance that I actually enjoyed, was really the financial modeling and the puzzles that you have to solve. And programming is essentially, that's 100% of what you do, is solving puzzles. And so all during that time, I was basically programming in my free time. And then I left that private equity fund to work on StoryOrigin full time, and also sort of got back into writing for a little while there, while I had a little bit more free time, and started writing short stories again. And then once I released StoryOrigin, since then, my time has really been like 100% StoryOrigin. So it's something that I enjoy, and I love programming, but I'd also love to get back to writing in the future as well.
Cool. And did you say what genres you like writing?
So mostly it's like sci-fi fantasy, with humor thrown in. So sort of like Terry Pratchett and Orson Scott Card are sort of my two idols. So cool. trying to emulate sort of the things that they do.
Yeah, I noticed that Marvel Comics, there's a lot of humor in lately that I think makes it better.
Yeah, I think Thor Ragnarok made like a really big switch with that. Like Taika, I can't remember his last name, but the director of Thor Ragnarok sort of came from like an indie film comedy background, and so sort of switched up the game, and that movie was hugely popular. So I think they're definitely trying to introduce like more of a comedy feel to those movies as well.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. I mean, I don't know that everyone still wants that doom and gloom, serious drama anymore for sci-fi. That used to be the case.
The anti-hero thing was really popular for the past few years, especially with like House of Cards and Game of Thrones and all that stuff. Game of Thrones less like anti-hero, but there's still a large part of that was certainly of that element.
Yeah, I didn't laugh once during Game of Thrones or the books or the show. Yeah. Cool. All right, so let's just go ahead. Huh?
I was gonna say, I think you might need to go to a psychologist if you were laughing.
Right. Exactly. Some issues. So let's just go ahead and jump into a demo.
Okay, so when you come to StoryOrigin, the first thing that you'll see is just a landing page about some of the features. Build your newsletter, join group giveaways, integrate your different mailing lists. You can check out the pricing, which is something that we haven't talked about, but it's in beta right now. So I'm allowing authors to join it completely for free, while I sort of add new features, improve the system. And in the future, I will monetize it. But if you join during the open beta period, then you're gonna get, some sort of discount or some amount of free service extended past whenever it's monetized, so that you can keep using the service. And I'll give people plenty of heads up. In the event that you sign up for StoryOrigin and you think, this isn't really for me, like I don't really want to use this if it's a paid product, I'll give everyone plenty of heads up. That way they'll be able to migrate away from the service. That being said, like I would hope that you really enjoy the service and that that you want to keep using it, right? So I'll certainly work as hard as possible to make sure that you want to stick with it. So after you've created an account and you've signed in, the dashboard is super simple. Essentially, you've got the books that you have ongoing giveaways for. You've got different author profiles that you can create. And then you've got different mailing lists that you might want to add. And then you've got group giveaways that you've either created or you've joined. So if you want to add a new author profile, it's super simple. You just add your pen name and email address and a privacy policy. This is to ensure that we can that your giveaway page is GDPR compliant. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't have a website, like how am I going to link to my privacy policy? What I'd recommend, something that is really easy to do, is just to create a Google Doc and make it publicly viewable, but only be editable by you, and just put your privacy policy in there, and then you can just link to that Google Doc so that people can still view it.
Great work.
Yeah, and then after you've created an author profile, you can go ahead and just create your own book landing page. So, for example, I guess, do you want to go through actually creating one, or?
Oh, no, let's, I think
Okay.
that's probably easy. I think let's go through. My other question is, what if I have more than one pen?
So if you have more than one pen name, as you can see here, I have multiple pen names. It's just a matter of just adding a new author profile. You create that, and then whenever you add a new book, you'll see that you can choose from a drop down of different pen names that you have.
Perfect.
So it's super simple. Yeah.
And then why don't you show us giveaways?
This is the book giveaway page that will be created whenever you upload a book. You'll see your book cover on the left, and then you'll see the header and the subheader, that you can use to sort of grab people's attention, and then a little blurb that's about your book. Then when people click get the book, they'll be asked for their first name and their email address. So I could put in Evan at StoryOrigin. And then if someone hits download link, but they haven't clicked that they understand they're signing up for your newsletter, they'll just be asked to do that before they can hit the download link. And once they hit that, they will get an email with the download link to them.
Cool.
So that's that.
Awesome. All right. And where can authors find other giveaways? So authors can find group giveaways simply by scrolling down their dashboard and going to under group giveaways my books are in. We can go to join a group giveaway. Cool.
And I might go for this you can see there's a list here of all the different giveaways and the different tags that they have, so that you can sort of figure out which ones your books would best be fit for.
Awesome.
And so once you click on a giveaway, you'll see a description. You can apply for it. You'll see what books that you have in the bundle. And it's super easy to just choose which of your books that you'd like to apply with and hit the apply button.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. And you guys, this is free. So I don't know if anyone knows. I know the Instafreebie pricing off the top of my head. It's $20 just to start. And then it's $50 if you have more than one author name, versus Evan is offering to let you have as many author names as you want for free. So this is a really great deal. So, so thank you so much for being here and showing us your new product.
Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. All right. If you guys have any questions, I'm sure Evan will be happy to answer them. Just put them in the comments below, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.